Welcome to another episode, everyone. Big U receiving at least 40 years in prison. Keep in mind, Big U is 55 years old. You do the math. If he gets 40 years in prison, this individual who is well-versed in the federal system, having done many years inside of a federal prison himself, says that Big U is never coming home, that the feds have the nails in him. These individuals also say that they needed protection from WAC 100, that they hired security, or this individual here said that he hired security because he had a 10-year beef with WAC 100. And apparently was so afraid that he needed security. Perhaps WAC 100 is, well, a gangster after all? Who knew? Let's get into it. This is nasty work.
Well, Big U is still locked up. He was representing himself at one point, which I hope he doesn't do. But he's facing a whole bunch of charges. Shout out to Brick Baby also.
Oh, and I'm gonna say shout out to Big U. I never got a chance to meet Brick Baby, but
he was a regular on my show before he got locked up.
Okay, yeah, I talk with.
But I know Big U. Me and Big U have been cool for years. He did an interview. We kept in contact.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was sad, man. I mean, do you think there's any chance he can walk away from this?
No.
Why?
Because 99% of the time when the feds got you by the balls, they got you. And when you got too many co-defendants, what happens is the feds gonna dangle in your face. Look, you looking at a life sentence. However, we'll give you a year or we'll give you 2 years. So guys will go to plan in their mind like, man, I'm just gonna go and give him this information, hoping Big U don't go to trial, because if he don't go to trial, he not gonna know I gave all this information on him, and then they're gonna give me a 5K1 and cut my time, and I'm gonna be able to go to these, because the Fed have changed, whereas there are a lot of yards now where pedophiles, dropout gang members, snitches, everybody could walk the same yard. So they got different prisons now that they could go to now, so they're gonna look at, man, I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm just gonna move somewhere else. So I don't see him getting off that, no.
Well, what if he cooperates on a bunch of murders?
Here go Vlad. First of all, Vlad believes that him and Big U are friends. He constantly says that Big U never extorted him. Well, there are reasons for that he would not perhaps extort Vlad and extort other individuals. Don't know that he has or has not. I don't know what Big U has done or has not done. Everything that he is locked up for at this juncture is alleged. But here we have Terrence Gangster Williams, who did much time in the Fed, saying that Big U cannot overcome this. He can't come from under this. He cannot get out. He's going to go on and say that he's, again, facing 35 to 40 years. He's 55 years old. But now, what if he cooperates on some murder charges? Well, Freeway Rick said that, and he's also familiar with the feds, Freeway Rick, and he said that if Big U were to cooperate with a bunch of murder charges, then perhaps they would indeed let him out. I'm suppose this individual here is about to say the same thing. These individuals know how the feds work. And this individual here is saying, Terrence Gangster Williams, that Big U cannot overcome this, that, nah, I don't see him getting out from this 99% of the time when the feds got you by the balls, they got you. Typically, that's true, of course. Nevertheless, Terrence Gangster Williams had many murder charges or whatever and told on a lot of murder cases, and he's out with a big chain on his neck. So anything is possible. How come Big U can't get out and you can? You got out and you had all kinds of charges.
Oh yeah, then he up out of there. I thought you just say this going to trial, getting off. Yeah, if he cooperates, of course. The feds always open.
Not to say he knows about any murders. I'm not putting that out there. I'm just saying, but let's just say
if he do,
it gets to the point where it's like, all right, I know about 3-4 murders. I'm going to cooperate on all those, and they're going to give me time served.
It would have to be a situation where Big U got to say this. At this point, yeah, I know I'm the big homie for this gang set. However, I got a wife and children. So now, am I going to be selfish and be like, you know what, I'm about to just die in prison, or I got a way out of here, and I'm going to lead the gang along, because once he violate, he can't be in the gang no more.
Right.
But I'm going home, I got my family.
Right, because his son got killed not too long ago.
Yeah.
Bad situation, man.
I saw that.
Big U's a cool dude, man. Like, I literally, Like, I'm reading through the indictment, and he's extorting this and doing that, and I'm like, I mean, he could have really tried to extort me if he wanted to. There's never been any of that. Here I am, I'm in LA, I'm dealing with other gang members and doing interviews and making money out here and moving around. He could have, hey, listen, I'm going to make sure you're good out here. I'm going to give you make sure none of these dudes fuck with you, but you're going to have to kick back this and blah, blah, blah. Never had this type of conversation, ever. I swear to God. So hearing all these charges, I'm like, is this really true? Or are they just throwing everything at, in the paperwork, hoping that he'll just take the plea deal or cooperate?
If they offer him 20, I see him taking that. 30, maybe, but if he got more than one murder now, they're gonna try to give him at least 35 to 40 offer.
He's about 55 years old.
Yeah.
Get out of 75. That's the problem. It's the age. If he was 25, all right, take that 20. Because I always say, like, look at Big Meech and Southwest T. They took 30-year plea deals. Everyone thought, they were stupid. Oh, how are you going to take that much time? They're both home.
Yeah, enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
But see, they had just drugs. They didn't have no violence. So Big U got this violence.
Yeah, well,
and how
they weren't charged with the violence.
But
there was violence in BMF.
Right,
but let's just keep it 100.
Right, but I'm talking about T and Meech played to drugs.
True.
And here, what happens is this. When we plead out, the laws change for drugs. So they call a break.
Right.
Whereas with him, if he plead out, he gonna plead out to them bodies. Ain't no law gonna change for no bodies. You gonna do that time. But here's the thing.
Well, no. Same with the bull.
But Sammy cooperated.
That's what I'm saying. 19 bodies.
Right.
Time served. No, I think he got time served.
Yeah, I'm set to go do an interview with Sammy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What we talking about would be.
I bet you are set to go do an interview with Sammy. Hell, they're calling you the Black Sammy the Bull. That's what they called Terrence Gangster Williams the other day. Sammy the Bull coined him the Black Sammy the Bull. Don't bring Sammy to this. The 19 murders that he snitched on. Let's talk about the 40 murders that Terrence Gangster Williams snitched on. And they're all, again, speculating as to whether or not Big U will cooperate to come home. Just because these individuals cooperated, my guess would be no, Big U will not cooperate. First of all, you have to know about all of these murders and have, extensive information on them in order for the feds to accept this stuff. And since supposedly they want Big U so bad, not everyone else and all of this, and they feel like they have him. If they really feel like they have him, they may not want to negotiate with him anyway. And I don't see Big U, but I mean, I don't know the man. I've seen crazier stuff happen. Individuals I never thought would go belly up ended up going belly up. So I don't know, man. But my instinct dictates that no, he's going to fight this out because I believe that his legacy is important to him. And obviously that would just ruin everything, ruin his entire legacy should he get on the stand or give up some information and it becomes public knowledge. But I don't know. Maybe he's not thinking about that. Maybe he wants to get home to his wife and kids and whatever. I mean, many individuals, again, that we probably all thought would not do something like that ended up doing it. But again, my first thought, my instinct would be, no, he's not. First of all, I don't even think the feds are coming at him offering anything like that. And secondly, I don't believe that he would take it. I believe that he's going to fight this and his trial is about to start, I believe. And we'll see what happens. But all of this is just speculation as to whether or not Big U would actually snitch or not.
Big U is if he plead out to get to that 75, but if he cooperate, he might be on tomorrow. But do he want to go through that? Because he might like his name, his reputation.
If he cooperate, he might be home tomorrow. This dude's trying to encourage him. But do he want to go through that, his name and reputation? Exactly. No, you didn't care. He out here walking around free with a nice little chain on. That's singing like a bird. Is that a bird on that chain, boy?
And the stuff he got going on out here in Cali, where he know if he cooperate, that's over with. I put that blue flag down.
So do you want to be the toughest guy in prison or do you want to be home?
oh, he's not gonna be the toughest guy in prison. That's gonna change. I mean,
Right,
he
he's
might be
older.
one of them, but he old. But they got them little youngsters. Them little youngsters ain't playing. And then the other little homies, they sending like 5, 6, 7 guys at you with them knives. So they gonna break all that down. And especially if he come on down south or somewhere else where the Crips not deep at, oh, that's over with. That's over with, Vlad. So that federal is a different animal, but I'm hoping he make it out. Cause like I said, I had a chance to talk with him on the phone. Real cool guy, you know. And when I was gonna go to No Jumper, it's at the time me and Wack was going through it. He was gonna have his son and a few
Yeah, like if he goes somewhere where there are not a lot of Crips, yeah, perhaps, yeah. He won't have as much influence, as much power. But if he goes somewhere where there are a lot of Crips, particularly a lot of neighborhood Crips, and that's the route he goes instead of going down the Muslim route, then he'll still have a lot of power and influence and can still make things happen if that's what he chose to do. If that's how he chose to carry himself behind those walls. But of course, all of this again is speculation because he's fighting this case and we don't know what's going to happen. Though I do agree with Terrence Gangster Williams here that once the feds got you, once they got their claws in you, it's hard to get out of it. Once the feds get you, arrest you, once they feel like they have you, because oftentimes they wait for years. They were watching Big U for years, as we've learned. And when they finally do come in and make that arrest, it's hard to get out from that situation. We'll see what happens. You need a lot of money. Don't know that Big U has a lot of money because on his way to turn himself in, he was already asking for help and support.
the Crips to come pull up to hold me down, but then I was like, nah, because then I don't want to get in bed with no Crips, and then I don't want nobody be thinking like I'm like you doing a saw press on those gangsters.
Yeah.
I said, nah.
Me and Wack were on bad terms for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I could have eaten.
So Terrence Gangster Williams there says that he had a problem with Wack 100 and he was about to go to no. Wow. He was about to go to No Jumper. And apparently he was afraid of Wack 100 up there. So he had Big U. He already knew Big U and talked to Big U on the phone, and Big U said, oh, don't worry, I'll send some Crips up there with you to have your back. He was ready, Big U. This is why Terrence Gangster Williams, I use the word gangster extremely lightly. This is why he says that he's cool with Big U, because he had a problem with Wack 100. And Big U said, man, don't worry, I'll send some people up there with you. I got you. Wack ain't gonna do nothing to you. Man, you was that afraid of Wack that you needed Big U's help to go to No Jumper? That's nasty work. Your brother is Birdman. Well, what's up? Y'all just be rapping, huh? Y'all ain't got no killers? Oh, man. Watch Vlad. Watch Vlad. They're not done. Watch Vlad now.
Easily gone to one of my gang-related people and said, hey, listen, can you handle this for me? But now I'm in bed.
So Vlad said he had a problem with Wack for 10 years. And he could have easily went to one of his gang-affiliated partners and had them handle it. This is nasty work. Hold on, man. Let's play that again, man. Both these dudes get that. Hold on, dog.
Because then I don't want to get in bed with no Crips, and then I don't want nobody be thinking like I'm like, you know. And when I was gonna go to No Jumper, it's at the time me and so that federal is a different animal, but I'm hoping he make it out. Cause like I said, I had a chance to talk with him on the phone. Real cool guy, you know. And when I was gonna go to No Jumper, it's at the time me and Wack was going through it. He was gonna have his son and a few other Crips to come pull up to hold me down, but then
So I was about to go to No Jumper. Me and Wack, this is at the time me and Wack was going through it. And he was going to have his son, he said, Big U, and a couple of other Crips pull up to No Jumper to help him out with Wack. These dudes, Wack got these dudes scared to death. Got these dudes buffalo. This is nasty.
I was like, nah, because then I don't want to get in bed with no Crips, and then I don't want nobody be thinking like I'm like you doing a saw press on those gangsters.
Yeah.
I said, nah.
Me and Wack were on bad terms for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I could have easily gone to one of my gang-related people and said, hey, listen, can you handle this for me? But now I'm in bed with that guy.
Yeah.
And now it turns into a soft extortion. Okay, now you owe me some favors, whatever else.
Wow.
So I just said, I'll just hire security, real security. And I let them know that me and Wack got problems. And, you know, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 times that we were in close proximity. I just told them, and that was that. But I always felt like I'd rather pay for this myself than get it free from someone else, and it's not going to be free.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's going to be a much higher cost.
Yeah, boy.
And that's what I feel like more of these guys need to start doing. Like, look, if you have a problem with someone, just hire security.
Whoa.
Stop going to all these gang members and
homeboys and
all this type of shit, and next thing you know, you owe them favors. You ride around, there's a dirty gun in the car. Like, I've had that. I'm not going to say his name, but one rapper in particular, we were out in New York together, and we were rolling around, and he said, yeah, I got a dirty gun on me right now. I'm like, God damn, if we get pulled over.
man, I'd have jumped out that car in. He said, I got a dirty girl. I'd have been catching the first cab. Man. No,
It was in my car, though.
No, you would have called 911. Gangster, that's what you would have did. We know what you would have did. You wouldn't have jumped out the cab. You'd have called them boys 50, 50. You'd have went 50-50. Yeah, knock it off. Man, this is nasty work right here. This dude Vlad said he hired security, that he could have went to his gang-banging partners. He could have went to his gang-banging friends and got them to deal with Wack because he had a 10-year beef going with Wack 100. Wow. But instead of getting his friends, his gangster friends to take care of it or to have his back, no one should really do that. You don't have to go to your gang-banging friends and all of this. He says, just hire security. So he hired security and let them know that he had beef with Wack. So if you see him around, basically, you see him getting near me, hell that. Oh, my goodness. And this dude, Terrence Gangster Williams, wow, had to call on Big U to have his son and some of his partners go up there with him to no jumper because he was that afraid of Wack 100. I guess that never happened. But this is what he said. This is what was going to happen. Oh, my God.
oh, he'd had to get up out of there.
Yeah.
I be scared when I be in the car with people with weed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it depends where you are. I mean, out here it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
But Texas, it's illegal out there.
It's illegal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, even in certain states where we be going, I be like, we legal, but I just don't want to get in trouble for nothing.
I agree.
So I be trying to stay clear of all that bull.
I agree. Me too.
But
I don't like jail.
Yeah.
I've been there once or twice. I did not enjoy myself.
I didn't got used to being out here. I want
Right.
to stay out.
I like women.
I mean, it's big facts.
There you go.
Man, there's so many nice look. Then I'm in a nice, expensive hotel. I get to ride cattle around in Cali, looking at all these mountains. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this stuff is beautiful. So
That's right.
yeah, I don't never want to get back in trouble. So that's why I dictate the flow with people. Don't be online. Tell me when I see you, we gonna fight. I don't want to fight. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we could go back and forth, trade a few words online, but I control the situation because I know how guys are try.
Yeah, you control the situation, all right. He controls the narrative. He controls whether or not you go to jail or you go home if you try to fight him. That's what he's saying. Yeah, he's going to call them peoples on you, 5-0. He calling the popo. Oh, he said he don't want no problems. He don't want to go to jail. None of us do, man. Got that right. I get it. Okay, there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. He says Big U is looking at, he's saying a plea deal. 35 to 40 years. I don't see Big U pleading to 40 years. I mean, so if he's found guilty, then obviously he's getting life. If the plea deal is 40 years, Big U being 55 years old, Vlad mentioned Big Meech and his brother, Southwest G, getting a 30-year sentence, but they were younger then. They were not in their 50s. They're in their 50s now after the 30-year sentence. They were in their early 30s, 30, 29. I think Big Meech might have been 29, 55, talking about a 30-year sentence, 40-year sentence, or even a 20-year sentence. It's just, that's not good. That's all bad. That's life. So I'm assuming Big U is buckling up for the fight ahead. He's not ready to take any deal whatsoever, because any deal is going to put him away for life for the most part. So I'm sure he's saying, I just have to beat this case. I have to outright beat this case somehow. We'll see what happens. He's trying to beat it, I'm sure. And Terrence Gangster Williams again saying Big U is just cooked, that he's not coming home, that he don't see him getting out of this. There's no way for him to get out of this, because once the feds got you, they got you. But bro, you at home right now. The feds had you too. They had Freeway Rick. Freeway Rick had 2 life sentences. And he got out of it in the feds. And he got out. Now, he didn't have any, murders or whatever, like he alluded to when he was talking about Big Meech and his brother. Well, they didn't have any violence, they didn't have any murders or whatever Big U does. At least the one charge. He has the one unaliving charge, at least. Okay, but this individual here that was saying that had 40 unalivings, or snitched on 40, was involved in some whatever. And he's out. So if he can make it out, Big U can make it out too, probably without snitching. But we'll see what happens. The feds trying to sink their teeth in Big U. They don't want him to come home. Big U, I'm sure, has other ideas. He wants to come home. So we'll see how it pans out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.